Hi, this is Gordon Robertson, lead singer of the Damn Choir. We're in Humboldt Park, Chicago, Illinois. Doing an interview with Jeff Shorman, and I'm taken to my favorite watering hole. And we're going to have a beer and talk about the new album, You're My Secret Called Fire.
The Damn Choir, we're an indie folk band from Chicago. It started with Katie Myers and myself. She's a cello player. We did an album together called Faithful Fools. And then from there, Ryan Farnham, who's a drummer, Jack McLean, percussionist, and Steven Stokes on electric guitar. The fire is about pretty much the person you're with, and like when there's a fire in their eyes, like almost when they look at you like they can't stand you, like they're like sickened by you. So like the whole motif of the album is fire. This album, compared to the last album, it's almost like the steps of grieving. Like, you know, the last album was like heartbreak and, you know, come back and all that. But this album, it's more like I don't want you back, and I'm not happy with how things went. This album is about the death of love. Like a lot of the lyrics and what it's actually like almost love being a physical thing that's being murdered. Like it can bleed, it can burn, you know, it can do all these things. The biggest thing the Damn Choir wants to do is like pretty much have like a warm sadness. It's like just like make beautiful music.
I'm Steve Stokes, and I'm engineer at Strobe Recording and play guitar in the Damn Choir.
And I'm Jamie Wagner, and I am the owner of Strobe Recording, and I was the producer for the Damn Choir's upcoming album release.
We recorded at Strobe Studio. James Wagner, he's the owner, he's the producer of our album too. James Wagner has been such an intricate part in the Damn Choir, just doing everything. I mean, he has backed us like every way possible.
Originally, the concept of this album was Gordon came to me and said, you know, I don't want to put out a full length, I want to put out a little shorter album. He was thinking maybe 4 or 5 songs, do more of an EP. And I think what happened is, you know, things were going pretty well, that he was able to get, you know, 6 or 7 songs out of the band. So, you know, I think it was a really productive album. It really flows well. And Steve, and I won't speak for Steve, but I think they spent a lot of time really on this album compared to the last album, you know, spending the time getting sounds, understanding the dynamics of the songs, how they're going to build, things like that. And so there's a lot more thought put into it. So I think that was one of the reasons that the album, I think, it's a lot more cohesive than the last album. Although the last album is definitely more of a journal, you know, more of an acoustic journal of someone's maybe love-hate relationship. Where this one is a little more dynamic and touches on a little more, I don't know, different topics than the last album. But still, love's always involved with Gordon. You know, that's how he is.
Yeah, Gordon came to me, and he said he wanted to make the album sound as big as possible. So, of course, we started with the drums, and my biggest influence for getting the drum sound was Arcade Fire, their last album, The Suburbs. And so I really modeled the drum sound after that album. And it kind of grew from there. It really grew from there.
This one's definitely a full production. Every song is very well produced, and you know, if you go out and even look at the Noah video, which has been up for a little while, I mean that was the first song they finished. I think it was back in October, and you know, that one came out great.
Steve Stokes is one of the most talented men I've ever met. He's just one of those guys that knows how to do everything. Like he can do anything you need. He engineered the whole album, he mixed the whole album, and he plays electric guitar on it.
Yeah, I guess my audition for the Damn Choir was performing in the studio to lay down some tracks. Gordon wanted to experiment with electric guitar sound in his songs, and I guess I passed the test. So, if I had to describe Gordon, I would say that he is He's a cross between John Mayer and Keith Richards. Let me say that again. If John Mayer and Keith Richards had sex, Gordon would be the devil's child.
Say something about Steve right here. Let's get him back.
Steve is a mix between Danny DeVito and Eddie Van Halen. When we started this album, Steve Stokes wasn't in the band. He was the engineer. So I've gotten him like so close with Steve. He's my neighbor now, even like while recording this album. Same as Ryan Farnham. Him and I like became really good friends just like through this album, and just being trapped in a control booth, mixing and whatnot. And that's it. Hey. I'm doing an interview with Jeff. We're just about done.
You on the floor alone, every breath you can't breathe puts a breath into me. You scream till you can't breathe, till your heart finally falls asleep. Did you grieve from the loss of me? I was the only thing that ever loved you back.